Okay, so now let's apply it to a real issue. So this is a question that, as I said, Claire emailed me before when I asked people, is there anything that you'd like me to cover in today's session? And so this is what Claire said. And she said, as environmental experts, how do we deliver much needed specialist training to colleagues to then grow industry capability and for a kinder and more sustainable economy? Okay, so that's the question, and initially I was going to say let me answer that in the session, but then I thought let's use this first job activity as a way of getting some of the group intelligence and the group diversity to answer that question. So if I was looking at this and I was answering that for Claire, so this is the way that I would do it. I'd say, what did I learn as a maths tutor that could be relevant for Claire's issue? So this is I'd like you to do the same thing. In the first job that you had and the list of the things that you learned, I'm going to ask you in a minute to share there's some skill that you learned that could be relevant and useful for Claire in trying to educate her colleagues in being able to share the sustainability and the environmental impact message with people, with other people. Okay, so let me share with you for one. So, not everybody thinks the same way. Yeah, so Claire might have one way of thinking, and you go, Claire, well, actually, not everyone is thinking that way. So maybe you need to do a little bit of scaffolding to get to that point. Some people are way behind. Yeah, like some people don't even know that there's a problem. Some people are denying that there's a problem. Some people are accepting it, but they don't want to give up their lifestyle, blah, blah, blah. There are people at different stages. Maybe you can relate it to something practical, and more now we're seeing the impacts of climate change and we're being affected by it. We, as rich Westerners, not just people in like far off countries or in small islands, we're experiencing it. And again, different people have different goals. So even people who are on your side, they want different outcomes. So let me give you the chance. Hello, room. This is up to you. Claire's saying brilliant. Thank you. Okay, so for the room, and Claire, we're doing this as an exercise, so you may or may not get something useful from this. I hope you do. But the room, let's use our diversity and our diverse perspectives to help Claire in addressing this issue that she wants to learn more about. All right, so you've got some skill from your first job at Macca's or as a warehouse assistant. Okay, Paula says, and we're just going to share this here with no judgment, no evaluation. Claire, if you get something useful, please write it down and take it away. Let's just use this as just for the sake of doing the exercise. But I find this a really powerful tool when I've used this with teams. When you're talking about a culture of change, everybody has learned some skills from their first job, and many of them don't realize that those skills are actually useful in their current job or in a colleague's current job. Okay, let me just share some others. Open your mind. Share your values. Talk about the why. Find a hook. Julia says walking in other people's shoes. Here, Jonathan says learn as much as possible about what you are selling. And John says influencing and persuading skills. We're in fact going to get onto that next. Oh, here's the other one. Create opportunities to listen. Meet in the middle. Rach, oh, hi Rach, good to see you here. There isn't just one way. People are motivated by different emotions. Find ways to make it fun. Yeah, make the training fun. Okay, now, in Claire's role, if this was when first running this in a real workshop, I would have I pair people up in A's and B's or A, B's and C's, like groups of 3, and one person shares an issue and the other 2 people in the group share what they had learned from their first job that could help them. And the first person, their role is not to push back and go, I'll try that but it didn't work, or that wouldn't work, or that's not really my style. Their role is to write down all the suggestions that they got and then go back and evaluate them later, but accept everything and all you can do is ask for clarification. So Claire, I'll make sure that I send this to you, this list. And Claire, let me share what Claire says. You're all terrific, and I agree. Much more terrific as a group than I would have just been as an individual. Okay, and this is the point. This is the point. This is why we need that diversity in boardrooms, in our staff rooms, in our meeting rooms, in our classrooms, because that's what we need to solve these problems.